Hello everybody, it's a great pleasure for me to welcome you to a new pedagogical session in English. Today's session will be devoted to practice activities for baccalaureate exam paper. That is to say, I have prepared for you some exercises that hopefully will help you prepare in good conditions for your BAC exam. Okay, I'll need your help to help me do all these exercises. Shall we go? Okay. Now, the session is about the reading comprehension section. Now, as you know, the exam paper is composed of 3 sections. That is the reading comprehension section, the language section, and the writing section. So today, in this session, we're going to focus on the reading comprehension section. Okay? Now, this is the reading text we're going to work on. Now, for the moment, please, we aren't going to read the text. Just have a look at it for a while, just to see how long it is or how short it is, along with questions I have proposed for you. Here is the first paragraph of the text. Second paragraph. Third paragraph. Number 4. Okay, and we come to the comprehension questions. Now, as you can see, it counts 15 points. This section takes 15 points of the whole exam paper. Now, here are the questions. Now, usually you are asked to base all your answers on the text. That is to say, you're going to read the text, then read the questions, and then you will need to go back to the text, read it, and find answers to the questions, then write them down. This is why we have based all your answers on the text. Now, here is question number 1. A, it's answer these questions. Don't worry for a while. We're going to come back to them later on. Now, for the moment, please just look at the questions you have. So A, then you have B. It's fill in the chart with the right information from the text. Question C, it says, are these sentences true or false? Justify. Now, please, I'm just exposing you to the kind of questions you have and you get on the day of the exam. Question D, it says, find in the text words that mean the same as. That is to say, you're going to look for equivalents of these words in the text. Then you have question E. It says, what do the underlined words in the text refer to? So in all, you have 5 types of questions. Now, so far, you have had a look at the text. Then you took note of the kind of questions you have. Then, of course, when you are on the day of the exam, the first thing you do is you do a general reading of the text. Okay? If you don't mind, let's read the text together. Now, the title is Marie Curie. All right? Here is the first paragraph. Now, let's read the text all together for a general reading, and then, of course, later on, we'll get to focused reading, in which we're going to focus on the questions that we have in the exam. So let's go. Marie Curie was born Maria Sklodowska, the 5th and youngest child of Bronislaw Boguska, a pianist, singer, and teacher, and Ladislas Sklodowski, a professor of mathematics and physics. Bronislaw Sklodowski died of tuberculosis when Maria was not quite 11, leaving Ladislas Sklodowski as his daughter's chief role model. Even as a very young girl, she was fascinated by his physics equipment, and like him, she was quiet and studious. Paragraph 2. Maria was an outstanding student who graduated at the top of her high school class when she was only 15. She then spent 8 years working as a tutor and a governess to earn enough money to attend the Sorbonne in Paris. In her spare time, she studied mathematics and physics on her own and attended so-called floating university, a loosely organized clandestine program conducted by Polish professors in defiance of the Russians then in charge of the educational system. Finally, in November 1891, Maria left Poland and registered at Sorbonne under the French version of her first name, Marie. All right. Despite living under conditions so Spartan that she grew ill on several occasions from lack of food and sleep, Marie graduated first in her class in spring of 1893. A year later, she obtained her master's degree in mathematics, then remained in Paris to conduct some experiments for a French industrial society. Finding the Sorbonne's facilities inadequate, Marie set out to learn where she might find the necessary laboratory space and equipment. Next paragraph. Her search led her to Pierre Curie, a highly acclaimed professor at the School of Physics. The two scientists shared many of the same beliefs and habits and were immediately drawn to each other. They married on July 26, 1895, thus launching one of the most significant partnerships in scientific history. Okay, now finished the general reading of the text, we come to the first focused reading. That is to say, we're going to have a look at the questions, then go back to the text, find the answer, and write them down. Now, here is question A. It says, fill in the chart with the right information from the text. Now, on the left, you've got Mary's mother, and next, Mary's father. Now, you've got to find the name of her mother, then her job, and then nationality. Now, the same thing with her father. That is to say, you're going to write down the name of her father, what's his job, and what is his nationality. Right. Now, let me take you now to the text, where you can find the answers. Please, sometimes we don't need to read the whole text to find the answer. Just focus on the part of the text where we have the answers. Now let's read the part of the text in green. It says, Bronsitwa Boguska, a pianist, singer, and teacher, and Ladislas Sklodowski, a professor of mathematics and physics. Bronsitwa Sklodowski died of tuberculosis when Maria was not quite 11, leaving Ladislas Sklodowski as his daughter's chief role model. Okay? Now we move on to the next paragraph. Please just look at the part in green, since we need the information about her father and mother's nationality. So we read this line. It says, finally, in November 1891, Maria left Poland. Okay? Now, Poland gives us an idea about the nationality of her parents. Now, let's go back to the table. Now, what is Mary's mother's name? Okay? Yes, it's Bronsitwa Boguska. Good. What's her job? She is a pianist, singer, and teacher. Nationality? Of course, she is Polish. Now, the country is Poland, nationality is Polish. Now, we come to her father. Now, his name is Ladislas Sklodowski. What's his job? He's a professor, of course. And then nationality, he is Polish too. So this is for exercise number 1. Now, let's go and do the second focused reading. That is to say, we're going to read the question first, then I'll take you back to the text, then find the answers, then write them down. Now, let's have a look at the questions. It says, answer these questions. And please, I want you to focus on question number 1. What does it say? It says, how did Mary get the money she needed to study at the university? Right. Now, as I told you, sometimes you don't need to read the whole text to find the answer. Just go directly to the part of the text where we have the answer. Now please read the part of the text in green. It says, she then spent 8 years working as a tutor and a governess to earn enough money to attend the Sorbonne in Paris. Okay, question again. It says, how did Marie get the money she needed to study at the university? The answer is, of course, she worked as a tutor and a governess. Question 2. It says, what is a floating university? Remember, this is focused reading. That is to say, we concentrate only on the part of the text where we can get the answer for our questions. Now, let me take you to the part of the text where we have the answer. Please look at the part of the text in green. What does it say? It says, so-called floating university, a loosely organized clandestine program. So we have the answer here. So please, we don't need to read further on in the text. Now let's go back to the answer. Now the question says, what is a floating university? The answer is, it is a loosely organized clandestine program. Of course, we have question number 3. It says, why couldn't Marie conduct all her experiments at the Sorbonne? The same strategy, same technique. Please don't read the whole text. Just go to the part of the text which you think will help you find the answer. Okay. Please look at the highlighted words in green and read them. Finding the Sorbonne's facilities inadequate. That's the answer for our question. So, the question is, why couldn't Marie conduct all her experiments at Sorbonne? The answer is, of course, because she found its facilities inadequate. Facilities means equipment. Inadequate, not good enough. Now we come to focused reading number 3. Okay. First, let's have a look at questions. It says, are these sentences true or false? And of course, you're always asked to justify. As you can see, this question takes 3 points. Please, let's look at question number 1. It says, before emigrating, Marie studied French literature. Now, to answer this question, we go only to the part of the text that will help us find the answer. Here it is. Please read the part of the text in green. It says, in her spare time, she studied mathematics and physics. All right. So, the question, before emigrating, Marie studied French literature. Of course, it's false. She studied mathematics and physics. So you take the justification from the text. All right? So it's a false statement. And justification is she studied mathematics and physics. Question number 2, or statement number 2. It says, Marie looked for a job after obtaining a master's degree. Please, you always use the same strategy. Don't read the whole text. Okay? Think of focusing only on the part of the text that you think will help you answer this question. Now here we go. Same technique, please. Just look to the part of the text that is written in green. It says, a year later, she obtained her master's degree in mathematics, then remained in Paris to conduct some experiments for a French industrial society. Question, statement, Marie looked for a job after obtaining a master's degree. Of course, it's false. Okay. She remained in Paris to conduct some experiments for a French industrial society. Okay, now we come to statement number 3. Please read the statement. It says, Marie Curie had the same academic interests as his wife. All right? Now, let's go to the text. As I told you, please, you don't need to read the whole text. Just go directly to the part of the text where you can find the answer. The two scientists shared many of the same beliefs and habits. So you have the answer to the question. So you go back to the question. Now you read the question. Pierre Curie had the same academic interests as his wife. Of course, it's true. How do we justify this? The text says the two scientists shared many of the same beliefs and habits. So they have the same academic interests. Right. Now we come to focused reading number 4. Let's first have a look at the question. It says, find in the text words that mean the same as. Hardworking, it's in paragraph 1. Okay? The last sentence, please, as you can see, the word in green, it says studious. So hardworking means studious, right? Next, secret, paragraph 2. All right. In the text, we have the word clandestine. So the answer is secret means clandestine. So clandestine means much the same as the word secret. Next question, starting, beginning. It's in paragraph 4. All right. Yes, we've got the word launching, right? Okay, starting, beginning, paragraph 4 means much the same as launching. Starting, beginning, okay, is the equivalent of launching in text. All right, now we come to question type number 5. It's E. Same thing, it's a 3-point question. It says, what do the underlined words in the text refer to? Now, you have words in the text which are underlined. Then you've got to find what they refer to. Now, the first word is him. Right. You can see it there. At the bottom of the paragraph, him is underlined. Now, what does it refer to? Let's read the last paragraph. Even as a very young girl, she was fascinated by his physics equipment, and like him, she was quiet and studious. All right, very good. It refers to Ladislas Sklodowsky, that is to say, Mary's father. So him refers to Ladislas Sklodowsky. All right, here is the answer. Him refers to Ladislas Sklodowsky. Next item, who. What does who in the text refer to? Who is there? All right. Now, Mary was an outstanding student who graduated at the top of her high school class when she was only 15. Good. Who refers to student? Here is how you write your answer. Who refers to student? And the last item, of course, is they. Same question, what does they in the text refer to? Let's first of all find they in the text. It's there, right? Okay. Let's read, the text. Her search led her to Pierre Curie, a highly acclaimed professor at the School of Physics. The two scientists shared many of the same beliefs and habits and were immediately drawn to each other. They married on July 26th. Good. They refers to the two scientists. That is to say, Marie Curie and her husband. All right, we go back to the question, right? And this is how you write your question in your exam paper. So, they refers to the two scientists. So, that's it for today. I was very glad to work with you. I hope to be able to see you next time. Until that time, Thank you very much, and bye-bye.